It is a box office. Most importantly, it's the Memorial Day weekend of box office. We had two new releases, Furiosa and Garfield. They were released within this big holiday period, thinking it's going to make a lot of money, when in fact it did absolutely nothing. This is the lowest Memorial Day weekend in 30 years, and this does not include COVID because that does not count for obvious reasons. Furiosa, in its 3 days, made 26.3 million, and over the 4 days made 32 million with a worldwide of 70 million. Garfield, in its 3 days, made 24.1 million, and over its 4 days it made 31.1 million. The total revenue for all 4 days for everything combined is roughly 128 million. So very, very low numbers. I mean, 128 million, like a film can do that on the release on its own, probably a bit before COVID, but yeah. So, James, what is your take on the shocking result?
Man, this is really, really surprising. I know, like, we shot a podcast and then it didn't release due to unforeseen circumstances. But in that podcast recording, we predicted it, the Furiosa opening weekend, and boy, were we wrong. Everyone was wrong. The predictions, tracking, everything. 32 million for the 4 days. People were thinking 40 million for the 3 days. So to see it get 26 million for the 3 days, that's shocking. I don't know how to explain it. I did say in that unreleased podcast, one that we did, that this movie wasn't going to be a big hit. People were expecting it to be because, Fury Road's so beloved. But I just don't think the casual audience really cares about the Mad Max franchise. And I don't blame them, honestly. The Mad Max franchise is really weird and crazy, and kind of, you really got to be open-minded to really get absorbed in a world like that. And unless you love cinema and filmmaking, it's hard to have some sort of like actual interest in that franchise for just your average moviegoer. So I knew it would struggle, and Mad Max Fury Road didn't even do good. I think it made 380 million worldwide in 2015. I think it was around like 150 to 160 million total. This might not even get to 100 million.
It might even make its budget, right? What is its budget, 100 and something million, or was it 70 million?
No, I think it was 160 million was its budget.
Yeah.
It will make its budget in the worldwide, but it's still going to be a pretty big bomb for Warner Brothers. It's tough to see, man, because this is like a good movie that's bombing now as well. We've had over the last year in 2023, we saw huge bombs, but they were from pretty shit to mid movies. So understandable to see a really good movie go down in flames like this. It's sad to see, but hey, I guess that's the landscape these days. And it's just on film Twitter, everyone just seems to like freak out whenever a movie does bad. Like the Fall Guy, everyone's freaking out. Like, everything's changed since COVID and stuff. Everyone's freaking out. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's the movie itself. Top Gun Maverick released 2022. That's after COVID, and it broke the Memorial Day record. Last year, 2023, The Little Mermaid got 5th all-time Memorial Day opening weekends. It's the movie. It's not this period that we're in. Sure, there are some circumstances that, add to it, inflation, cost of living crisis, whatever it may be. But to just blame it on COVID now, I think we're past those days. And it comes down to the movies, the marketing, and just what people want. I don't have the answers. I know that there are other stuff contributing to it, but look for this weekend. Garfield is going to be number 1. Furiosa will be number 2. We can bet on that one. Yeah.
I think so too, considering it's like, what, 900,000? Sorry. Almost 1 million from beating Furiosa. Or even tying with Furiosa. It's crazy. Mind you, Garfield is a lot more appealing and has a bit of a higher ceiling. You can just take your kids to it, family to it. It's just easy. Adults may want to wish they never did, but the kids will absolutely love it. Watch our review for that. But yeah, it's real sad to see, as you mentioned, how a good movie that should be recognized just can't even like struggle or does struggle to make a lot of money, where something like Garfield can just print off money, and we just know that we're going to get a sequel for it based on these results, or based on the second weekend results where you predicted that will take over, which I completely agree with as well.
Yeah.
How big of a drop do you think Furiosa will get? Do you reckon it will be around about that 70 to 80% drop?
70 to 80%.
Yeah.
No way. That would be one of the biggest of all time. I don't think that was going to come close to that. It's tough to say. It's highly reviewed right now, and I think it is getting good feedback. But the cinema score's B+, and I know that sounds good, but it's not great as far as cinema scores go. It's usually A territory where it has slight drop off. So I'd say something between 55 and 60% is the safe bet. But perhaps the fact that it opened quite low may allow for less of a drop off, in this following weekend. So perhaps 50 to 55% may be the better prediction there for that one. But man, I know everyone's freaking out about the box office, but it is a little bit concerning considering, we're 800 million behind last year. And I don't know what we have coming up soon. You got Bad Boys, 5 or whatever, and then Inside Out 2. It's a really weak year. And when we did our most anticipated list, we saw this was going to be a weak year. I think people need to calm down, for one, and we need to brace for a really tough year at the box office. And then you're going to see 2025 and 2026 really skyrocket because we're going to have that regular slate. As long as we stop having these strikes that shut everything down and cause this really imbalanced rhythm in Hollywood. Yeah. We get, hopefully, no more disruptions for Hollywood, because we've had it for 4 years now. It's too much.
Exactly. Fingers crossed. You guys at home, do you agree with us? No more disruptions, and just let cinemas get back to how it was pre-2020. I'm sure you get aboard with us as well. What do you think about these box office results as well? Do you think it's shocking? Did you see it coming? If you did see it coming, me and James might call a little bit of bullshit on your part, but hey, if you give us proof, we will take our bullshit back.